Welcome back to the City Outskirts Tournament Expert Division qualifying round, hole number 2. Here we're setting up for a Thorn Rough Bump using either a King Slayer or a King Maker type ball. We're starting with a quarterback, getting our landing position, and then switching to APOC 5 plus and using Thorn 8 plus on the approach. The adjustment for the drive is P3 plus 10% max. 5 top, 3 left. So starting with the quarterback and our P3 ball, we're going to have the white ring touching the rough on the right. P3 max rest. Add our spins. If you got QB 10, it's max top, 3 left, right? So 5 top, 3 left. Switch to your APOC Thorn bag. Adjust P3 plus 10 max. Then we're going to play full curl. APOC 5 left curl with full overpower. It's somewhat controlled. It's a little shaky on the needle. If that bothers you, you can use a 4-4-4 ball. So after you set up with your P3 and your QB, you can switch to a 4-4-4 ball or something similar. So you get a little bit slower needle on your drive, a little less shake to it, a little easier to hit perfect. You'll still use P3 plus 10 in your app for the drive and the approach, even if you do use a higher power ball. We're looking for anything around just over 350 plus. Depends on your wind. So I hit I guess a single great right on that drive. I came up a little bit short. Generally, I've been average around 354 to 356 on this drive, which puts us right in the middle of plus yards for a pin check. It has been safe, great left and great right, the drive. So we're doing a bullseye pin check here. So you see I am short of the bullseye pin check by about a ring and a half. So here's the plus yard. So with a perfect, you're usually going to be in the plus yards where you can set your bullseye right over the pin as if you're going to dunk it. It'll give you a plus yard, and that's what you'll use. So if that's the case, if you're at the 0, it's 69 slider, plus 1 is 70, plus 2 is 72, plus 3 is 73, plus 4 is 75 slider, plus 5 76, plus 6 is 78. Now in this case, I'm a little bit short of that. It's about a ring and a half, right? So 1 ring short is 80, 2 rings short is 81, 3 rings short is 83, 4 rings short is 85, and 5 rings short is 87 slider. If you're the other way and you get a longer rollout on your drive and you have to go above the pin before you hit plus yards, -1 ring is 67, -2 is 66, -3 is 65, -4 is 63, and -5 is 62. So you got 5 rings above, 5 rings below, plus the plus yards at the pin. So that should give you, no matter what your rollout is, that should give you a slider to work off of. Worst case scenario, you can pull up a Thorn rings from max plus yard chart or rings from max chart, and you can count rings back from max. But these numbers should get you, no matter what your drive is, you should be able to get there with these numbers. If we got 5 rings above, 5 rings below, that should take care of everyone. P3 plus 10 on the approach. Most of the time, we're using 3.5 top, 1 right. So that's my base spin. That's kind of what I'm starting with. If I need to change that, don't be scared to change it. Here's what I'll tell you want to look for. The red ring should be around the top. The top should be around the rough fairway line Your ball guide should be going through the center of the cup by at least a square. So what I'll tell you, if you look here, I'm probably just over. I'm not quite to the second line, so there's 2 lines above the cup. I'm not quite up to the second line. Here's what I'll tell you. You want to be the tip of your ball guide, you want it to be at least half into the square that's above the pin. So between there and here, in that general area, if you have the tip of your ball guide, you know, too short, then you might end up rolling just short but in line with the pin, and that'll be frustrating. So make sure you're going through the hole, but you don't want to be going through the hole by more than 2 lines. 1.5 lines is basically perfect going through the hole. Also, one other thing to note on this one, you see my ball guide is fairly straight here. That's what we want. If you hit great left on the drive and you use 1 right spin, you'll be coming in more from this angle, and then you'll see that the ball guide curls around to the right. You don't want that to happen. So if you notice when you set up that your ball guide is curling, then remove the side spin. You want to keep that ball guide kind of straight, right? If you have too much curl in it, you're going to end up coming in the right side or missing right, and we don't want to see that happen. So just check, make sure your ball guide is straight. If you have to, remove some side spin and make sure you're coming in straight at the pin. Make sure your ball guide is about 1.5 lines through the hole, center cup. Pull straight, P3 plus 10 at slider, and you should hopefully be walking away with an eagle on hole number 2. No overpower, no curl. Just pull straight, try to hit perfect. Really, really good chance here. So good luck. I hope you guys get the drop, and we'll see you on the next one.